Hello everyone and welcome to a Palia update video for version 0.166. This is Palia's first major update and it brings a whole range of changes to skills, to new shop items, to new quests, new UI features and also brand new premium items, including the first pets in Palia. There are also quality of life changes and bug fixes too. I'll be covering all of the best bits in this video, so let's start with the changes to skills. Firstly, they've increased the experience gained for fishing and mining. Now, it doesn't actually state how much they've increased the experience. I tried doing a side-by-side comparison before and after the update, but it wasn't really a noticeable difference. They've also adjusted the experience gained when foraging, so you get less from gathering forageables on the ground, but you now get 2 times the XP for chopping down trees. They've changed insect catching smoke bombs to now have an area of effect, so that means when you're throwing your smoke bomb it'll explode in a small area now, and it makes it more forgiving when you're aiming at smaller insects, but it also allows you to catch multiple insects with a single smoke bomb. So this is just a really great positive change all over. And interestingly, they've added animation cancelling support. So for those of you that didn't know, animation cancelling was partially in the game, and this means when you swing your axe at a tree or your pickaxe at a rock, you can actually stop the animation before it's finished and mine faster or pick up forageables faster, but now they've decided to fully support the feature for foraging, chopping and mining animations. Next up, we're going to be looking at the changes to shops. Firstly, Zeki's Lucky Machine can now drop rare exclusive new items. So 4 of these items have been added from the Valley Sunrise set, which is a Valley Sunrise bed, a Valley Sunrise vase, a side table and also a chandelier. Now it does mention they're a rare drop and it doesn't say how frequently they happen. And just for those of you that don't know, you can gain a lucky coin from Zeki's shop if you just buy something every single real world day. And now onto one of the best changes in the whole update. You can actually sell items that relate to the specific jobs of certain villagers. For example, you can fish up a fish right next to Einar and sell it straight to him, which is absolutely fantastic. This also works with Hodare with mining. He'll accept ores and ingots, and I'm assuming it will work with Orni for bugs and insects. So this is just a fantastic change. It was something that was such a pain to always have to run straight back to either Zeki or back to your home base. And it just makes making money that little bit easier. Next up, onto some more good news. The main storyline of the game has been lengthened a little bit with a new quest following the Finding Your Shep task. This will include a brand new cutscene that welcomes you fully into the village. Now, aside from the main quest changes, we've also got new found item quests. So these are secret items that are hidden around the map that will trigger the start of new quests. They all have different start requirements, so it's another exciting thing to just look around and find on our way around Palia. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so now and you'll stay updated with more Palia news. So before we get to the pets, there have been some great changes to the UI in the game. If we start with the UI at your home plot, items in your inventory will automatically snap to the first available slot when you drag them from storage, which is a really nice quality of life change. The UI for the modification bench window has also been improved. And finally, when you're in the H menu on your housing plot, when you're looking at the bird's eye view, you can also rotate your camera around, which just makes decorating your home plot much easier. They've also made adjustments to the requesting system. So this is adjustment to the number of items that you can receive for various different requests. This is to make it more easily fulfilled or more worthwhile for the request to be sent. For example, worms and glowworms can now be requested in much higher amounts. And finally, on the UI section, there is a brand new events tab to hint at an upcoming themed event. Now, if we look at this closely, there are hints to a couple different things going on in this image. You've got the moon, you've got explosions in the sky, fireworks and lanterns. That to me is definitely giving the idea that it could be a New Year's themed event. But then you also have these nails, the hammer, this kind of stool object as well. It could possibly be a building event too. But we'll have to wait to find out more. Let me know what you think in the comment section. It's finally time to look at the new premium shop items, and the first big one is the Powcat, which is a new pet that is in Palia and it comes in 4 variants. You have the Sandy Powcat, the Nocturnal Powcat, the Island and the Snowy Powcat. The Powcat has no gameplay effects, but it will follow you around the map while you're fishing or while you're mining or just generally just moving around the world. But the only way you can get these Powcats is by purchasing items in the game with real world money. So you unlock the Sandy Cat for having any purchase on the game, and you also unlock the other 3 variants for having a total of 3,000 coins purchased. Now this is a retroactive bonus, which means if you've previously purchased something in the past, you will still get those benefits and it will still count. Now there are actually some new bundles in the shop as well, which is the Spa Day bundle, the Builder bundle, and the Ruffled Redingote bundle as well. Moving on, there have been some really great quality of life changes that are worth talking about. For starters, they mentioned that the game performance has been improved for anyone using a lower end machine. And now they have a range of changes for the 2 different regions. So let's start with Kilima. They've increased the amount of clay that spawns, and they've spread out the spawning of forageables, creatures, and insects. So previously, these would all have their specific little bubbles where you would go to hunt Sernuk, or where you would go to catch a certain insect or certain forageables, and now they're trying to distribute this more evenly across the map. They've also increased the fishing hotspot at the Mirror Pond ruins. Now onto Bahari, they've increased iron spawning across the zone, which is just fantastic because finding iron was actually fairly difficult. And they've also added several more locations for forageables, insects, creatures, and mining nodes to the less populated areas. They've made adjustments to the forageables spawning around the map in Bahari, so there will be less forageables in the meadows, but there will be more in the forest, and the beach should be a bit more spread out. They've increased the amount of fishing hotspots in the Pavel mines and also fixed some inaccessible areas for heat roots to spawn. Now onto the bug fixes. They say there's over 150 fixes they've made, but on their update notes they've only listed some key changes. One of the ones you may have noticed is there was a floating tassel on the front deck outside Zeki's general store. However, to compensate for this, they've added a floating fishing rod underneath the tavern. Creatures should no longer randomly disappear when you're hunting them. Fishing VFX will no longer be red in certain ponds. And speaking of fishing, apparently the Mayor's Pond had an exploit which allowed you to get higher tier fish without using any bait, so they've now fixed that. And finally, they've done some changes to the messaging system when switching servers. So that'll do it from my update. There is a much longer list of bug fixes and known issues on the official patch notes website, but thank you for watching and follow for more Palia update news.